Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades as per usual. Now let's get right into the analysis here, and I'll pull up some of the comments that you guys left yesterday, probably a couple of tickers that you wanted me to cover, so I'll just take a look at them, not a problem. Again, if you want me to take a look at your stock symbol and probably do some analysis on it, just leave it in the description and I'll be more than happy to take a look at it. So right now, we actually had a nice little update in the market with Jerome Powell's testimony. We had, I think a little bit of a setup in terms of a retracement, but you could already make the case that the retrace is over. But there's a lot of speculation about market tops and stuff like that. And I know we just hit this resistance level here on the S&P 500 or the SPY ETF, and it really looks like this is it, along with the amount of selling that's been happening on the daily time frame, and the same thing on the weekly. The momentum is starting to curl over here, but we'll have to see. We can't jump to conclusions. I know we need to time the top, but the market will give us an opportunity to get out of the market if this is really the high, the B wave, and this is it. The markets will give us an opportunity to get out. I know it won't seem like that, but you'll get one of these very big, like wave ones, and then a big bounce in wave two, and then 3, 4, and a 5, right? And obviously these are going to be much lower down here if that's the case, but we may be months away. And it's important to remember that we are in a strong uptrend. Today, we bounced off of this upsloping trend line on the SPY, and I know we are. I took a look at the triple Qs. Same very similar situation. Let me just, sorry, I think I was looking at it on the Nasdaq 100 right here. So yeah, I mean, we have a nice rising wedge, and it appears that we've started to break it around this level, and we've possibly maybe rejected it off of today. But we'll see. We'll see what Jerome Powell has to say tomorrow. Is he really going to crash the markets? It's an election year. Joe Biden is doing everything he can to keep the markets up. So that's just the way it goes sometimes. So we may not see any downside until later on in the year. And it could just be buy the dip until then. As you guys can probably tell, NVDA made it another all-time high today. And it is making probably an all-time high tomorrow. And it looks like to me that you're just in this fifth wave. And if on top of that, if you erase divergence on the smaller time frames here, well, I should say actually not the smaller time frames like the daily. I should say more like on the 4-hour. If you erase bullish divergence here, then you're just going to push higher and higher in a third wave, and you're just going to go in an extended fifth, right? And this is just going to extend, and this target is going to have to be raised higher and higher and higher. Once we do get a small wave 4 retrace, or is it going to be a big wave 4? Usually they are small, but the overall, you're going to have to keep raising your target for NVIDIA. And then you take a look at other names, like Tesla, who have been beaten up a lot and continue to get beat up like today. And I've said this many times that now you were in the short area and you're impulsing down, and Tesla for whatever reason is going to go much lower, which is unfortunate for the people who are holding long Tesla, hoping for the low to be in, but it may take quite a bit of time before that does happen. All right. So yeah, that's basically it. I just want people to know that it's a difficult market to short. It's risk on across the board, and a good way to measure risk is probably you could take a look at cryptocurrencies are going crazy right now. So people are piling in to almost anything, especially AI names. Almost every AI name is making new all-time highs, or at least most of them. AMD, I believe, made a new all-time high today, and it continued to push higher in an extended fifth wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you're continuing to push higher in AMD, and you can continue. And if you erase divergence, then you're going to just going to extend the third wave further and further and further, and then I have an upside target here for the smaller fifth wave all the way up here. The larger target was up here, but you can overshoot sometimes, but we'll have to see how everything plays out. Shorts continue to get blown up. They were very disappointed today, and it's not an easy trade to try and short this market. Let's take a look at a few other names. We'll take a look at SBUX, right? And SBUX right now, it's trying to hold its own. It's kind of retesting previous support, I would say, as resistance. I would just be careful with this name. For me, I would have stopped out of this trade, and I would look for this to start playing towards the downside in a 5-wave move in a third wave, which is very bearish. Same thing for Apple, right? We've been covering Apple for quite a bit of time, and now Apple continues to impulse lower, right? So now you're inside your third wave, clearly, and to me, it looks like Apple is going to be in a bit of a pickle here, and it could be in trouble. But I mean, you're in your buy area, and you should finish at any moment here on the 4-hour time frame. You know, you've made a new low. The 1 hour, you already started form a little bit of bullish divergence, but we'll know once the low is in. Once we get a first pop out of here, and then you get another fifth wave with a nice bullish divergence, then we'll know that the low is in, and we'll be looking for a larger 4 and possibly maybe even to truncate and end early, and then you can start your whole new cycle higher. Okay, if you take out the pivot at 165, then we have a more bearish play all the way down here to between 159 and 148. Okay, let me take a look at ROKU. So ROKU, trying to hold its own right now. It seems to be getting bought up once you cross down to this level here, which is a good sign. But looking on the 4-hour, I would actually maybe like one more dip. Looking at the stochastics, they've already reset. So maybe one more low to mark the bottom in ROKU. And then you could take off in an explosive third wave move. And this would be a really nice buy area right between $60. I would imagine after this this massive drop in ROKU. So a very beaten up name right now. Let me take a look at I already covered NVIDIA. Let me see if I can cover some other ones that we don't cover too often. Take a look at PayPal. PayPal right now, I believe, is coming down in a C leg. Bit of a I kind of see a 3-wave move here. So to me, this looks like PayPal might need one more low, and once that's in, at that point, then you can call this finished. And again, the buy area should be raised up a little bit right now. I think if I pull this correctly, you get your A wave. I'll just recalculate this target here for you guys. So the top of wave A, and then we could just pull it down here. So now the 100%, or sorry, that would be lower. That would be lowering it, actually, making it even deeper pullback. If we're measuring it this way. So let me just take a look here where we can find our new target for PayPal. So if PayPal is going to make a new low here, then it would be between the 100% to the 618, and that would be all the way down here. But I actually don't like that setup right now. If we're pulling it from maybe here instead, then we can maybe find a better target, but I don't know how I like this setup here. So wave A, 5-wave move down. Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy trade right now. I think I'll stick with the primary target that I had illustrated here. And if this is going to be reached, then I think this would be a buy area between 55 and 49. Because if we make a new lower low, then it would just extend the 5th wave. All right. Oh, sorry, I don't want to cover Zoom, but Zoom had good earnings and it had a nice pop. Let me cover. It's a very similar chart to PayPal as well. Let me cover something else here. We'll take a look at the TLT. Actually, we'll take a look at the TLT, the dollar, and the yields. So TLT is taking off right now in a wave 2. Now we need to pay close attention to this one and to make sure if we can distinguish a clear 5-wave move out of here, or if this is a bit of a corrective move. So far, I can only see 3 waves here on the smaller time frames, which is not that great. If we get a pullback and another high, then you'll know that we have 5 waves, and this low is really in. I mean, so far it really looks like, you know, the yields aren't going to go lower, or sorry, I mean aren't going to go higher. The DXY had a huge down day today. I know people saying this is not a big down day for the yields, but it really is. And gold is pushing to new all-time highs, right? So this is really a historical moment for gold, and it's a big deal that the dollar is starting to, you know, kind of implode a little bit on the news here with Jerome Powell's testimony. And I would assume that this is bullish for equities, and it really was. It supported the market, and AI stocks continue to rampage. So if the dollar is really finished here, and we're not going to go higher, then it's going to start to impulse down. But right now, I don't see, you know, a clear 5-wave move down so far. Right? I only see 3 waves, and what I make out of it is that this could be a corrective move, right? And if it is a corrective move, this would mean that yields are going much and much higher, right? That means this is the wrong count, and we need to reevaluate everything. And it means the dollar is going to push higher and yields are going to push higher. Because if this is just an ABC, then we are going to be in big trouble, right? But I don't see that right now. We'll just wait on it just a little bit more. Okay, let me cover a few more things. So the TLT, I think we just talked about it, right? Possible wave 2 for the bearish scenario of an extended C leg, but could also be finished, and we're starting a whole new cycle higher, and we're getting ready to run towards the upside, which means yields are going to collapse, right? And if yields collapse, right, people have been talking about yields being extremely bullish for the market, right? And if yields do get cut and all that stuff, I believe that they'll probably mark the top of the market. But again, people want to think what they want to think, right? And I think what I want to think. So I have freedom to express my opinion here. hopefully without any consequences. I hope no one chases me. But yeah, that's basically it for the TLT. I can talk about the small cap sector. So the reason also why I think we may have more upside in this market is that the small caps probably need to finish their impulse to new all-time highs and rally up to these levels here where the stock market is rallying as well. Once that's finished, then we can say that this move is done, and we need to look for some possibilities that we're going to get a very strong reversal here in a B wave, or if not all-time highs, double top, right, around the 240 levels, which is still possible. I know a lot of people are thinking that it's not possible, but anything is possible. You know, we didn't think that we were going to make a new all-time highs in the stock market, and people are calling it crazy and delusional, and I agree. But, you know, the market is going to do whatever it wants. And if it wants to keep pushing higher, it's going to keep pushing higher. You have strong bearish divergence, by the way, on the S&P 500. But this can continue and continue and continue to build. And what happens if you break out and you erase divergence? Then you got the moonshot scenario where we're going to SPY 6,000, SPY 8,000, and everything's melting up. But that's going to be like when gold is going crazy as well, because they're just going to be printing money, and they're essentially just going to be running up the printer and devaluing the dollar like a crazy amount. But we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, and then we can cover probably oil and natural gas. So oil right now is definitely struggling, in my opinion. I think oil is doing good though, consolidating at this level, building a base above the 200-day moving average and up above this upsloping trend line, but it really needs to overcome this level of $80. But it's hammering on resistance. And if we know anything about technical analysis, if a price is hovering around, you know, a resistance area and it keeps hammering on it over and over and over again, eventually it's going to get through it. So right now it does look like oil is primed to rally up to this level here at 85. And I would expect even that the rally could continue even further and head over to the 91, 92 area. So I wouldn't be getting in front of oil right now. And it could also be that funds are starting to reallocate to the more defensive sector and to the energy sector as well. So, but we'll see, because this then again, oil could have a negative impact on the economy. This could mean rising inflation, and that's not bullish for the stock market at all. Let's take a look at natural gas. So natural gas, I believe here is just finishing up. It looks like it's finished up a fifth wave. Same thing for the third wave here. The 3, right? The 3, and then the 4 and the 5. I think I got too many counts here. I got to delete one of them. I'll just get rid of. You know what? I'll just get rid of all of them, because really, well, we don't need to focus on the minor counts. We need to focus on the larger count, and it's that we're in this wave 4 here, and if the wave 4 is finishing and we're gonna start to roll over, that means we're gonna finish with natural gas going down in a 5-wave move, and that would be very, very bearish for nat gas. That means we're going to start imploding, and we're going to revisit the $1 level, the all-time low. I can show you guys on the futures chart. I don't think I have it on this chart. I think the lowest point here is the $1.42. But trust me, we've gone lower in natural gas. The all-time low for natural gas is all the way down here at $1. And if we go below $1, then I can almost guarantee you companies are going to go bankrupt, because they're going to just shut down. They're just not going to produce any more, right? Because what's the point of producing natural gas if you're selling it at a 99% loss? I think it costs most companies like $4 to make, or $3. So they're just losing so much right now. I don't even know why they continue to make it. I would just turn off my plant and not make it, wait for the price to go up and cause a massive supply constraint. All right. That's basically it for nat gas. Gold. Okay, so gold, I know some people are trying to short this right now, which is not a bad short setup at all, right? You got a nice, beautiful double top from the previous wick, from the all-time high that we wicked over on, I believe this was Sunday night or Monday morning, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, look at that. Gold is getting a nice little spike right now. But if you guys are attempting to short this, just be careful, because gold could be in price discovery if it's going to start, rocketing up here, and the dollar is going to implode, which some people think it is. Let me just take a look here. I don't think we have a new candle on the DXY. It's actually about to close in 13 minutes. I don't think I'll be talking for 13 more minutes, but pay attention to the dollar. If you see the dollar and the DXY rallying up, you bet your ass that gold's going to be falling down. But if the DXY continues on its path here towards the downside, then you will see $2,300, $2,500 gold within months, right? And it seems really unbelievable right now, but the miners are loving it, right? You take a look at these gold miners, First Majestics, NEM, right? Newmont Mining, they are loving this price action right now. All right, so I think that's about it for now. Don't really have much to add. I mean, we can cover Mara and some of these crypto miners. So to me, this looks like we are finally in an ABC correction. Now, let me just see if we can make 5 waves out of this count here. And if we are, and still inside the A wave, which is still possible, right? It's very possible that we could be still inside the A wave, because I don't really see 5 waves just yet. I just see 1, 2 right now. That's all I see. So I just see this, and then we are still in the 3rd wave, which would mean that Bitcoin may be due for a bit of a retrace, a spike down, flush out people, and then you'll get a bounce back in a B wave, right? And then a final C leg towards the downside. Maybe we get some more bad news. I don't know what's gonna be the catalyst. But if this is the target, then I can just give you some 3rd wave calculations. Let me just see here. Just give you guys a quick rundown of what could be possibly happening for Mara. Yeah, so I mean, we're not too far away. So for Mara, I'll probably be looking between the $19 level all the way as low as 14. So that would be what I'd be looking for here, but it could also be finished and you're just in a wave 4, but I don't see the RSI going super low here. So I think we may need one more low in wave 3, and a push down in the RSI, like a big sell-off, and then wave 4 and 5, and then you should be done. Retrace in B, and maybe a larger B, right, with a big rally in Bitcoin, and then a final C leg towards the downside, right? And then you'll be done. Maybe this cycle low, and this could chop here for months at a time, right? And then we'll take off for the new bull market. And I mean, this is the new bull market, but we'll see if Bitcoin can make a new all-time highs. Again, we just made a very nominal high, not too much, and then Bitcoin sold off a bunch. But I'll follow up with you guys on what's going on with crypto on my YouTube channel. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a wonderful day.